Hi, welcome back to Colleen Devs Tech, and today's problem we're going to solve is 832, flipping an image. Here I have an example of what the problem is, and we are given an image matrix, and we have 3 rows of arrays inside of our image. And what we want to do is we want to flip this image. So how we're going to flip this image, you may ask? We want to first reverse our rows, and then we want to invert them from a 0 to a 1. And that's how we're going to flip our image. So how are we going to do that, for example? So let me code this up, and then we can actually walk through it step by step so you can kind of see how that process will work. So we'll say for row in image. So this will be our row. I'll just label this. We can have this as our row. So for row in image, we have our image here. This is going to be our row, our rows. For every row in our image, we want to reverse it. So we can actually just do this. So we want to reverse our row into this. So what does that look like? So when we reverse our row, we kind of have it as a mirror image of itself. So we're going to reverse that. So the end of 0 will be the beginning. End of this array will be the beginning of this. And then this will be here, and then so forth. Okay, so this is going to be in the beginning. This is going to be in the middle. This is going to be here. Kind of how you look at that. So let's just actually use our original input. Okay. So we're going to invert it. So 0 is going to be over here. This is going to be 0. This is going to stay at 1, and this will be 1. And then there's no reversing here because it's pretty much the same thing, and same as here. So this one line of code did all of that. And so after we're done doing that, we are going to say for I in range of the length of our row. So this is going to be our I now. We'll have this as our I. So each one of these elements are going to be our I. So we can actually rewrite this as row I. So this will actually look like that. Okay. We want to do something, and we were going to say if row I, which is this, is equal to 0, which in this case it is, we want to change that to a 1. So we're going to say a row I is equal to 1. So that is changing this to a 1. And then we're going to move to our next one. And then we're also going to say else, if it's not equal to 0, we're going to have that as a 0. So we're going to say row I will be 0. So since this is not a 0, we're going to make it into a 0. And then also, oops, not that one. Then moving this one again to our next. This will be 0. And then this will be 0. Let me just have more space here. Okay. This will be 0. Goodness gracious. This will be 1. Oh, if I can only draw today. This will be 0. This will be 1. This will be 1. And then this will be 1. Finally. Okay, so now our matrix looks like this. It is now flipped. I'm just going to bring this back up here. It is now nicely flipped. Okay. So now that we have our image as flipped, we want to have this as our output. And so now we just want to return this. And the way that we're going to say that is we're going to say return image. Okay, and that should work. So once again, what we did was we first looked at each of our array, and then we reversed it, and then we changed out our 0s to 1s and our 1s to 0s, and that's how we did it. And then we return our image. So let's run this, and hopefully, yep, it worked. So it is accepted. The problem itself kind of seemed very difficult to understand, but after, watching a bunch of YouTube videos and seeing the explanation, is pretty easy. But yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, or anything like that, or if you just want to, share with me your solution, please leave it in the comments. And once again, thank you again.